way. I can't do that yet.
Hey guys, it's me, EODGamerz here. How are you all doing? I hope you enjoyed the opening video of the mobbing of this Infusion Stormweaver in 0.3. There are a few things I want to share with you. Builds, skills, how to build it. Of course, this is my first time playing the Infusion Stormweaver class. I have usually been playing bows and crossbows in the first 2 leagues. So it'll be nice. I'm just trying to share with you guys what I have personally built my own, and you can take it from here and leave me in the comments if there's anything that I can improve. Maybe you're a Stormweaver main for the past 2 leagues as well. I'll be very happy to learn from you. Let's start things first off with skills and how I actually play around this Infusion mechanic now in 0.3, and then we'll work our way to builds and etc too. So starting off with skills used for mobbing, there are 3 main skills I use to kill small monsters. You will see in the video that I use a lot of this spamming skill. This is Ice Nova. So this one over here, my Ice Nova skill, I have it at around 25k DPS right now, and a full 5 nodes also. So this is the main one I use to clear monsters. Why is it really nice? It helps me freeze monsters. It applies a lot of freeze buildup. At the same time, it gives me a nice amount of AoE as well to help me control a lot of monsters and apply a lot of ice on the enemies. It's really nice because I am relatively squishy for a Stormweaver. I only have like 4.3k energy shield, whereas other people will be like 10k, stuff like that, and end game. But I'm going like a little bit of glass cannon, so the ice offers a lot more control for me, makes me feel a bit more comfortable. For Ice Nova, the items or the support gems that I have in here is freeze duration increase, because it's mainly used as a controlling skill, my mobbing ability. I like to have the duration a bit longer, and then I can use my comboing skills later on. I'll explain against bosses. So it's used to freeze bosses as well, this ability. I have over here more AoE, so I can hit more monsters. Really strong as well. Some increased cast speed for different skills. This is like just a really nice plus. I don't think I really need this, but whatever. Next one, of course, is supported skills cast at a targeted location, slightly less AoE astral projection. Allows me to hit further away because Frost Nova usually is cast right around me, which puts me very, very badly in danger. So this is really critical. I think this is like the most important out of all of the support gems. And last but not least, I have here Zenith 2, which gives me some skill cost recoup as mana, because it really drains a lot of mana at a skill level of 32. Super high amount of drain on mana. So this is my main attacking skill. I have 2 other mobbing skills that will go in tandem to help. The first one is my invocated skill, or my triggered skill, my cast on elemental ailment. So it's changed in 0.3. Instead of cast on freeze, cast on shock, it's all combined into one cast on ailment, which is really nice because now shock or freeze all contributes to the same thing as well. So you can see here, now you gain a lot of energy, and you gain a lot of energy from that power from freezing as well, combining with shock. So I mainly play shock and freeze for this build. If I had like more resources to spec in all three, I would likely want to go for ignite as well, just to get more of this off. So the ones that I'm using now is Spark, very inspired from the Spark Archmages in the first league and second league as well. But I'm using this more of just a bit more application of damage, maybe drawing some aggro is a little bit more damage, but not super insane or anything, not like chain freezing with this ability or something like that. So some nice damage. Over here I have increased energy, so you can proc more often. At the same time, I just put this in just to try. I don't exactly know whether it adds in a lot of effect, but this is Nova projectiles. At the same time, I also have triggered by meta refund energy retention, and this new gem that is introduced, 50% of increases and reduction to cast speed also apply to projectile speed. I just like to see it fly faster. It dropped for one mob, so I just smack it in as well. I could be really a lot more optimal in this setup, but hey, it's just a little bit of fun. I'm just doing things purely for fun here. So that is my Spark, which also helps a lot with mobbing. The other ability that I have that is also used for mobbing is my center mouse button here, my M4, which is Elemental Invocation. So this is similar to Cast on Ailments, where when you proc freeze, you proc shock, you build up these stacks. But instead, this acts like a counter. So if every time I proc shock, every time I proc freeze, I have a bit of build up in these nodes. Once it reaches a certain threshold, I'm able to fire off the skill that I input into this node. In this case, it's Arc, lightning skill. So it helps me with a lot more mobbing as well, even though it doesn't do like a ton of damage. A lot more mobbing, a lot more shock application against the squishy monsters, which are most likely frozen or almost half dead as well. If I have a bit more damage, probably it will be really, really strong too. So I use it as a bit of mobbing. I could change this as well. I'm thinking of changing a bit more to an ice skill. Haven't really thought about it, but for now, this is what I'm using. Cast speed increase. I'm using this trigger ability here between slightly recover a bit of cost here and there. This is one of the new gems that's about, which I think is really nice. It gives me a bit more of recovery of energy as well, which is quite cool. At the same time, some increased maximum energy, so I can cast a bit more. And also, support skills can't inflict freeze, shock, or ignite, so it's just a bit more damage. Elemental discharge, so any of them are frozen, they will get a bit of damage instance from my arc as well to help with a bit more mobbing. So 3 skills I use for mobbing. I hardly use snap unless I'm looking for like ice infusion, particle, or burst. So my snap is only at 3 nodes. But you can see my mostly main skills are at 5 nodes as well. So that is mainly for my mobbing ability, Spark, Frost Nova, as well as Arc. And these are the 3. So then comes the next one, which is in between mobbing and bossing, which is my buffing skills that really help me out a lot in the fight. The first one is Frost Bomb. So this one over here, Frost Bomb is solid because I just need like a 2 node on this. It does a lot already, very, very efficient to run. This lowers their elemental resistance to ice, gives them a bit of elemental exposure on them as well. So it detonates, gives some cold damage as well as leaving a cold infusion. So quite nice to add in a bit more infusions on the field on top of my snap. If I'm like snapping the enemies here and there as I'm fighting, this gives me even more cold infusion that I can use, which powers up my Ice Nova, because Ice Nova can be cold infused, which again deals even more nicer amounts of hits too. So that is for my Frost Bomb, which adds in a bit of additional exposure freezing to amplify damage against normal monsters, bosses alike. Next one that I have in between is like both mobbing and like harder monsters is Elemental Weakness over here. This I increased the area of this one, so it's a wide area to help with mobbing as well. What this does is just curses the enemies to reduce their the resistances, which it amplifies the damage by a lot. I have 3 nodes, just less delay. I have this one here, which burning is crucial. It just leaves like a fire on the floor. I thought it was pretty cool. Maybe you could add a bit of fire damage, but whatever it is. And the last one over here, which amplifies the area of effect, does less damage, but it's fine. So I get this very big AoE of both of them together. So it covers a very wide area against like normal monsters. So that is Elemental Weakness and Frost Bomb, which helps me amplify damage. My rare monster, unique monster, or bossing, what I use, My main attacking skill is Frost Darts. So this actually does a lot of damage, especially if I don't have time. The monster is not frozen. If the monster is frozen, I use Comet. If the monster is not frozen, I use Frost Darts. It does a lot of damage. Reliable. DOT is like 12k DPS, which is really, really very, very solid as well. And my mana generally can sustain itself decently well. It's decent enough, I guess. I could use a bit more mana regen. So my Frost Darts is level 33. What I have here is additional cast speed. I have here additional damage because Frost Darts can't inflict chill anyway. So this is pretty strong. Additional cold skill level. A bit of cold pen. As well as piercing. I don't really need this node. I could switch it out for something else that adds a bit more damage. But I just left it in here in the meantime as well. So really, really strong against bosses. I do want to get the unique one, this one here, but it's costing like 9 divines, so maybe I'll wait on it and then I'll slap it in. So that is for Frost Darts. The next one is Comet. So Comet is my main burst skill against like bosses. I have it echoing a few times, so it does a lot of damage, especially when I do more damage against frozen enemies also. So you can see the HP of the elite monsters or the bosses really just melt. Like I killed the Trials of Chaos boss in 2 comets when he was frozen. So it's really strong, like 2 casts of comets. So 2 times 3, 6 comets in total when it's frozen. Really, really crazy amounts of damage. So 100k DPS relative to the rest. I have here the new gem, support skills, echo twice. So when I cast it here, this is the main one that you see the 3 comets launching. Most likely is able to take out most rare monsters if they are frozen, especially even if I don't cast like Frost Bomb or Elemental Weakness. Really strong. Has a slight like cooldown. But anyway, as you are casting the skill, the cast animation already makes up for like half of the cooldown. So it's like, why not, right? So pretty strong. Importantly, you can also cancel. Like as I cast, for example, if I'm in the animation over here, it's a bit clunky, but then you can quickly like step aside to animation cancel if you cast it in a wrong. So like E, and then if I do it wrongly, I can just like blink away with a spacebar to cancel the animation or comment, because it's a very clunky long animation if I'm in the wrong position. So that's the first one. The next one I have is less cast speed, more damage, because anyway I'll be doing it when the enemy is frozen, so that time can be used to burst with even more damage. More damage here, no elemental ailments, enemy is frozen anyway, so it doesn't matter, and it's most likely going to be a chunky enemy. I have here one of the new gems that is very expensive right now. It gives 10 quality to supported skills as well as 1 additional level, which is really, really strong. But of course, it does a lot of... it costs a little bit of money right now because of the additional quality, which basically brings the comet to have a 15% chance to repeat. Next up is support skills pen, 30 cold rest, because it's mostly on bosses, so I just have a bit more pen here, doing 101,000 damage. My snap, the last one that I want to talk about, just deals elemental damage, just a bit of burst, a bit more AoE, some cooldown recovery, but I don't really use this like a ton because I'm able to like burst most of them down. But previously I was using it a lot more, especially when I couldn't one shot because of the cooldown. It's very, very long cooldown, so I don't really rely on this one too much, just for the ice infusions if I really wanted to get some. Last but not least, one of the spirit skills I have is mana remnants. When I defeat enemies, they leave like mana fragments, which help me top up my mana just for a bit more sustain in general, which helps a lot in mobbing. That's why I can mob the monsters so well. So that's a combination of all my skills that I use. It's not perfect, but I'm still working on this. The only one that I could consider changing is maybe Elemental Invocation. Instead of running Arc, I could run like something else, like maybe a ice skill instead. But we'll see how it goes. In terms of my tree, before we get into the items as well, I am running, because I don't really have too much mana regen right now, I don't have like fully decked out gear. Today is just day 4 and I'm level 86. I'm taking Arcane Surge, which gives me a bit of mana regeneration and some cast speed. And at the same time here, it just gives me a bit of additional cast speed and mana regen when I'm missing some mana, which I am often, very, very often, a lot. So that's what I use. This one here, if I had more, I would switch it out. But the next one I have is increased chance to shock. Targets can be affected by 2 of my shocks at the same time. And this one here, which contributes to all hits contribute shock chance, which helps me to apply shock on the enemy to help me proc either Elemental Invocation or help me build up my spark charges or shocking enemies is also nice because it's a bit more additional damage to do on them as well. So those are plus. If I could switch this out, I might go over to maybe like this one here, or all hits deal to chill magnitude. So my sparks and stuff could also add to chill. I could take both, but for now the mana is a bit of a problem. So I'll stick with this one for my main passive tree. For the rest of my tree, this is what it looks like in my tree here. For those of you who prefer like a high level overview of everything, let me remove this as well to make it like a bit brighter. So the key notes that I took, this is in my amulet. I took conservative casting for my amulet, and I'm going for notes like increase energy shield for a bit of chunkiness. I took the fast track up here for some mana, some energy shield starting here. These are the key ones that I'm looking for. At the same time, going for like mana on kill because I really desperately need mana with this build. Some energy shield over here, mana regeneration, anything with like mana. It's like crazy. Cast speed here, so these nodes are nice. I might consider like giving up this tree to add into something else, but for now that's what I'm using. Some cast speed here, a lot of cast speed from this side of tree, which I might actually like move it out, maybe find some more like armor or stuff like that, because I'm already attacking quite fast. Faster start of energy recharging, which I could consider. Actually, this whole portion here is like a bit of an excess. I might remove this part sometime in future after this video. But yeah, so some damage, spell damage here. Nice amounts of spell damage. This one, I took more Arcane Search. I'm desperately needing mana, so I went for this one. This is just a more defensive one. It's not really very OP, not very important, but we found it early on, so I'm just using it. I will probably switch this out for a more offensive one later on, but for cost effectiveness, this is what I'm using still. And my notes here, I go for the extra energy shield in this tree, and the ice ones here, freeze build up, going for cold skills, some pen, elemental damage as cold, taking some cold damage notes over here as well. Not a lot, but still some. More energy shield for some sustain when I do have to go and bunga. A lot of mana here, max mana increase. 3% spell damage for 10 maximum mana as well. I'm just preparing when I do want to go for Chaos Inoculation, going for Mind Over Matter, and where's the other node, the one that converts energy shield into mana, this one here. So just preparing. I don't feel comfortable going yet with my very thin shield and my not too high mana, so eventually I'll go there towards later part of the game. And over here I'm running like cast speed, some mana regen here, some jewels and freeze build up, and this is the key one, extra damage against frozen enemies, which helps me with my meteors when I rain on them with comet, and some cast speed, some skill effect duration, which is not critical. So that is for my tree over here, what I'm going. For my 2 jewels, I have 3 jewel slots. One of them is used by this one. The other one I'm using this, which gives me spell damage, cold damage, cast speed, important ones that I need. Crit chance is also nice. This one here, I have spell damage, cold damage, cast speed again, with crit hit chance. Both very similar gems. 9% cold resistance on this one, Corrupted. I bought both of these, I believe, or maybe crafted one of them myself. Really solid, giving me a lot of damage. I probably will get one more maybe after this video, now that I'm like reviewing my own build. This one probably can change as well. So that's what I plan to do. This is for my builds. For my equipment, I am running a wand and a focus rather than a staff. So let's start off with the etc items. So this is my amulet. I'm going for as much spell skills as I can. So +3 spell skills with some spirit, because my build requires me to have about 180, 200 spirit. So I do need this amount of spirit coming from the amulets here. 44. I have a nice amount of elemental resistance, mana. The life is like a bit unnecessary, but whatever. And the rest of my spirit is coming for my body armor. It's not the best. It's only like 557 energy shield, but it gives me 58 spirit. So for whatever it's worth, maybe in future I will upgrade this when I have the funds and resources spare, and I feel like I need to invest a bit more. Till then, 557 energy shield for my armor. My hat is this is probably one of the worst, just for resistances right now. I don't have too much. I only have like this, not fully capped out yet, just all over the place, to be honest. It can do a lot better, but it's now very expensive because today is just day 4 of the new league, so everything is all really expensive to get, especially 3 lines fine. So this one has a bit of cold resistance and nothing else. This one is giving me 35% movement speed, so I just kept it, and some mana. Energy Shield is not fantastic. I will want to upgrade this eventually as the league progresses on. Glove giving me some fire chaos, some mana, which is nice. Decent to have. My belt here, 3 resistances with mana. Would like a bit of life right now in the early game, but it's very difficult to find all these stats early on for cheap. It's all very expensive right now, day 4 of the league. I'm going for cold damage, cast speed, and some cold resistance or whatever resistances that I can get. So really just cold damage, cast speed, and mana, which is this ring that I went to buy. Got cast speed here, got cold damage, and some mana. The rest of them are like whatever. I'm just looking for 3 lines right now. And that's my focus. So that is for this gear. For my weapon here, I'm using a +5 cold spells, skills with cast speed. It's not the highest. It's still like not the best, but I think it's good enough for me. If I were to try to whittling it, it goes into the prefix. I'm trying to get away these attribute requirements, but it's not like huge necessity. I think the other lines is like mana regen, whatever not, which is nice to have. But when I have more funds later on, I will probably reroll these attribute requirements. I got a really nice tier 1 elemental damage, only found in this Abyss League. So that is really solid, especially if I'm doing like a bit of lightning on the side too. That's really nice to help out as well. So that's for my weapon. I crafted this myself. And next up, of course, is my focus. This one is pretty nice. It gives me good amounts of spell damage, good amounts of cold damage. It gives me +3 level of all spell skills. I do not know why it's a tier 2, because right now, tier 1 is a +2 level to all spell skills. So this might be a glitch in this currently, but the focus apparently can go up to +3 at tier 2, implying that there's a +4, but there isn't. +3 is apparently the highest as well. So some cast speed here, max roll cast speed. I have cold damage, spell damage, which is really nice, and a little bit of shield, a bit of mana, would be nicer more, but also a bit of faster start to energy shield recharge, which helps out a ton as well. And that is pretty much my build. Other than that, I'm just using pots. I try to get as much mana as I can and reduce charges and like some charms that protect me from freeze, because freeze is usually the thing that kills me, especially in this current Abyss League. If you found this video helpful, insightful, do share it with your friends and let me know in the comments below as well if there's anything you think I can improve on this build. Again, I'm very new into Stormweaver. I've been playing bows, crossbows, and I like playing a variety of builds. We are focused on a money-making channel and Path of Exile too, so I also like to try new things to see and adapt to the market conditions as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.